what I've been doing with, like I said, I told the last person, the new generation of NEACE coaching, I like to, if I can, if you've played recently, I like to look at VODs. First things first, don't AFK level 1. Your champion can invade.
That happened.
Huh?
Yeah, I was like, yep, that happened.
Yeah, I would never AFK level 1. Your champion can invade. All you have to do is just not level an ability. So,
You just wait for your cue.
right. If you see something that
Like,
you want to take a shot
control.
at, yeah. If you want to take a shot at it, take a shot at it. Otherwise, just hold off so you don't fuck your clear up. That's normally how I approach it. So we decide that we're going to start blue.
I was playing for bottom lane here. Looking back at it, they ended up stealing my red. I just kind of wasn't like ready for that.
Yeah, let me see what happens here. Them taking your red is a little weird. How did she take your red? I'm confused.
Or maybe that was a different game. Is that the Diana? Is that
no? Yeah.
jungler Diana?
Yeah. So she does take your red.
Yeah.
But what's funny about this is that you kind of just give it up, which is weird. So you miss the Q, which is whatever. And then you just kind of assume that she's already gone. But in reality, you can't know that. And there was a tell earlier that you missed. So for some reason, you think that she's she's not only taken your red, but she's gotten out of the jungle, which that is possible if she went like blue to red. But if she goes blue to red, she's only level 2. But in this case, she went, I think she does a, what did she do here? She went red chickens to your red is what it looks like. But the point is that back here at the beginning, you saw something that was a bit of a tell. You knew where she had started. I'll show you what I mean.
Yeah, because I knew she put down the ward there at the blue. So I guess I expected her to have rotated down to red and started at my red.
That's not possible, though.
I didn't really check the thing to look down there. Yeah, it all kind of felt weird to me.
Yeah, so the reason I'm going over this, the reason I'm going over this like this is because at that moment, it's impossible for her to start at your red. So while she does cheese your red in kind of a unique, weird way, she got right around our blind spot here. In the sense that we weren't able to realize that she walked across river. I'm gonna watch this clear real quick too. Can we have sped this up at all? Let me see it again. You're doing a reasonable job here. Might that. I mean, it could be kind of a little better, but it's not like terrible. And there's only so much you can do as a Moo. Okay, so right here, when I see this, I immediately would ping my team and move here to the right. You have Prio on mid. You have Prio on bot. And basically the reason why I'm doing this is because, yes, in hindsight, we know she's there. But, like, it's not just hindsight. She can't. Like, it's not like you cleared slow. She can't just speed run to your camps and leave. It's just how the game's designed a certain way. Like, if she somehow got in here level 1, but we know she didn't. So it's either one of two things. Either she went blue to your red, which puts her level 2, which means you kill her anyways. Right? Or she did this red chickens red thing, which still means she's in your jungle.
Yeah, and I guess I definitely didn't expect. Like I my brain's like, there's no way anybody would go, top red to bottom blue enemy side. Like it didn't.
You mean bottom red enemy side?
Top red to bottom red. Yeah.
Yeah. So and the fact that it
wouldn't make sense, and so I thought she started there, and so then now I thought she was actually going to her red and then gonna come and clear to bottom blue.
This is why I put a mega emphasis on level 1s. And leaving, like, don't AFK level 1. Make sure that you have your info to the best of your ability. I also noticed that here, this is a rare start, okay? This is an interesting VOD to get on a VOD review because this is rare. This is like a less than 10% game. Okay. But these types of games are the ones that fuck you the hardest, in my opinion. The ones where your opponent is being very, very proactive and you're being very, very reactive. These are the games that fuck you the hardest. I want you to remember that, because when I play in Korea, you know how I get fed all the time on Tryndamere? Level 1. I don't know if you've seen my games, but I leave base, especially on blue side. I leave base. I walk right over. I hop this wall into this bush. And I sit. If I run into anybody, I'm Tryndamere with lethal tempo, and oftentimes I can get sums, I can get kills, I can do all sorts of stuff level 1. Why is this relevant to you? Well, because you are basically allowing yourself to get cheesed. Now, there's ways to get around that. Same with the people that are facing Tryndamere in my games. It's people aren't paying attention to what they're doing. What that does is that gives me an advantage, and all it was a matter of just being present at the game at the early levels. How could we have stopped this specifically from happening? And usually I don't nitpick this too much because it is so rare, but it's nice to know what's happening. So at level 1, what you can do, you have 2 options. Option 1, you could just base at like 59 seconds right here. As you're basing, if you were going to start at blue anyways, as you're basing, you just drop a ward right here in river. Swap to sweeper and then walk to blue. What this will do is this will protect you from this type of shit, this cheese shit.
Now with sweeper, where's a good time and place to be sweeping? Right? Because I don't, like, my brain doesn't.
That's easy. This is I know it sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty easy. When you're going to gank, you sweep. That's it. That's a good start point. That's a good start point to think about it. Yeah. So like, for example, now you've got sweeper. Let's just do this pretend scenario. Okay. So imagine you put the ward here. Now wards, they last for, quite a while, right? The thing that you have to realize, let me find a ward on the ground here. So you've got 90 seconds, right? For the ward. So imagine a world where you had placed that ward, like I said, at around a minute. Okay, so you dropped your ward at a minute. She comes down, and then right there you would see it. You see that? She's on it. The ward's dying, but you see her coming in. You're standing here, and you finish your wolves. Guess what you do? You walk right over to red, and you just fight her. You just push her off. There you go. The game's over at this point. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is why I'm going over this, because again, these are the opens that fuck you the hardest, because they flip the game on its head and they confuse you, and you literally said it. You're like, I did not know what was going on here, right? Whenever that happens to you, you essentially just got cheesed. Like, there's no other way to put it, and we have to make sure that does not happen.
Yeah. So
now that you know, okay, I could get cheesed here. What other champions might come into your jungle and take your camps?
Well, they're pretty much all kind of mid lane. I could see like bottom lane coming up to get a red.
I mean junglers. I'm saying, in theory, what matchups could this happen? This scenario, what matchups could this happen to us if we start blue?
I think Jarvan's pretty strong right now.
Right.
Udyr's kind of popular. I think he could do it. He's kind of fast.
I think just about any jungler could go red chickens across and get in here, right?
Yeah, that's a pretty kind of easy like route to do.
So
it doesn't take long at all.
Instead of sitting on this ward, if you're going to start blue, let's start incorporating some sort of ward coverage before the minions spawn, right? So that we could potentially uncover this type of shit before it happens. Right? Same rules apply on red. If you want to be smart, early levels, come over here at, like I said, about 59 seconds, start basing, drop your ward at the last second, and then sweep and go to grab sweeper and go to the red side.
Yeah.
This is really, really important that you make the modification to your early, because this is the type of stuff that makes things really shitty for you. Because as you can see, you would have walked over and she just died. Like, you literally just kill her. You just walk at her and she's out of the game.
Yeah.
I put a very, very high value on not being cheesable early.
Yeah, it's pretty important early game, especially for Mumu.
Right. So now Oh yeah, this game's getting goofy now. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm like, what? Like,
Right,
it didn't make sense.
right. No, everything you're doing here, based on what you're describing, does make sense. It's like, you know, what route did she take? This is why it's really important for us to be alert at level 1. That's one big thing that I hammer on. This game snowballs really fast now, so it's super important that you're on map level 1. We hit some Qs, pick up a kill.
Yeah, I kind of hang out here for a few seconds. And
I would
peek
have
out.
already put a base probably.
Yeah, I thought like maybe he was gonna keep pushing, and it just.
What is the build right now on a Mumu anyways? I just want to see what we're running.
And as far as all my builds go and like build paths, I really just follow mobalytics. Like, you know, I'll let other people.
I'll
do that
give
kind of
you.
work for me. I don't understand.
And well, the good news is I can give you more actionable way to play a Mumu. There's people that play a Mumu like full time, like it's their job in Korea. So I could give you something that's probably gonna hold up. I got a diamond 1 a Mumu main. Yeah, hold on, let me see.
Nice. What?
Diamond 1 in Korea playing a Mumu is pretty tough, in my opinion.
Yeah, I could imagine.
That's no joke.
You gotta be pretty 5-brain for that.
Yeah, because the champ's pretty weak, in my opinion. But
yeah,
he's strong
weak.
for you.
I think he brings a lot to the team, though.
Right? Yeah. No, I just meant. I mean, if the guy's playing it in Diamond 1 and he's winning, let's see. 68%. Yeah, something like that. But it depends. There's more games. Here we go. 57% at 266 is pretty good. That's pretty solid. And he's sitting just outside of Master Tier, which is about the line where the champ starts to really struggle because everybody knows what's going on. This would probably be the shit that I would build then. I would just copy this guy because he knows. So it looks like generally... So this would be your itemization. I mean, I would just look at what he's building. So like what I'm looking for here is what he's building on first back. So it looks like he likes lucidity boots a lot. I would just copy. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. I would say like here he likes an occasional cloth armor. Looks like I want to see games where he's, because right now you got 1100 gold in this VOD, right? Which is
it's pretty big. It's a good first back.
Right. So if we can figure out like, looks like he's just getting bombies. I think when he can afford it, because lucid boots are.
You just walk on people, you know.
Right. Well, I don't know, because usually what junglers do is they get boots. A lot of junglers get boots. But this guy seems to...
I mean, I see that. Those are like my 2 favorite early... Like, that's a really good early item that I love. Just getting like tier 1 boots and rocking with that for a little bit. Or even tier 2 boots if I can. But, I mean, it makes a ton of sense, like, going bombies first, because nobody's going to really have boots yet by the time you get it.
This guy's doing some weird shit, though, because he keeps... At the end of the session, I'm going to look at his game.
Cool.
Because he's doing something. He's doing some sort of, like, early back. You can see it. He keeps doing it. See this? 2 minutes?
Yeah.
He's doing weird shit. There's a 5-minute bombie right there. So, yeah. I think I would say if you can afford it, you go bombies. If you can't, if you're just shy of it, then go lucid. Seems to be the move. He likes lucid, and he's going Sunfire first into Jock Show. So he's just tanking. He's just being a tank. These runes matching yours?
To be honest, I don't know. It all gets imported through mobalytics.
So no, he's running. Okay, so the difference. You're fine. It's cool. I'm. You don't need to know the runes too much, but I do want to point out something though, so that you can min max a bit further when you're learning. So. As you can see, the tree here, you should manually set these. Okay, but the ones that you should look at this. Water walking is really good for Mumu because you're going to spend a lot of time ganking early. I already see that you want to. This allows you to walk through river quicker and get to positions quicker. especially for scuttle fights and for roams from like mid to bot, mid to top, shit like that. Right? This is big value. And then this right here, this is the other thing you would change. You literally just change from attack speed to or for attack speed to tenacity, depending on the teammates or the opponents. So here, he doesn't figure that there's a lot of CC. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a Lulu, and none of this is real CC in his mind. Silence doesn't mean anything to Mumu. Zac CC doesn't matter because it's all knockups anyways, right? Talon has no CC. Kalista has no CC except a knockup. The only thing that you'd be CC'd by is the Lulu polymorph. So in his mind, there's no point in going tenacity. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to explain
so
you
swap
his...
it, though.
Yeah.
Know,
So I'm trying to
3 or
explain the
more.
choices. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So that you don't... Because right now you're looking at runes and you're just like, it's out of my pay grade. This is all you need to worry about.
Yeah.
Okay? So like this page is pretty good. You can keep the Dom tree if you want. Personally, I would just copy the guy that's winning here. I would just copy his runes. I would imagine that water walking gets a lot of value for a gank jungler more than your ults will get value, like low cooldown ults.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's all about your early game. I just showed you why I think that too. It's just super important to have the early game be tight. You could have won this game at 3 minutes, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, this we just interchanged, like you said. We just interchanged this. I don't know about these. I don't know what you're running, but like I would just copy him. He knows what he's doing. This is the only thing that you need to change here. Just change the armor to magic resist. Again, depending on the comp. So he looks like he's doing MR. I guess he's doing it because it's just a matchup. Like he just sees Zac and thinks MR. I think the MR is a little strange, personally. I kind of disagree with him because I just don't see where the magic damage is coming from. But like, it's still a move. He's going to be fine anyways. Right? But that's just something that you could tweak. So there you go. There's your rune setups. All right. Anyways,